Previously on Dragon Ball Shinken, 30 years had passed since Goku's final battle with Oob at the 28th World Martial Arts Tournament. In that time, the universe changed forever. Vegeta had taken Beerus' place as the new god of destruction, while Goku wandered the multiverse in search of worthy challengers. But the two Saiyans reached a level no one had ever imagined, a divine state known as Shinken, a power so immense that not even the angels could comprehend it. With it, all of their techniques and abilities were multiplied by millions. Their overwhelming power caused them to be rejected by their own timeline, forcing them into exile. Cast into alternate realities, Goku and Vegeta faced the strongest foes across the Omniverse, until one day, they encountered a Saiyan feared as the God Slayer. To survive, they fused into a permanent warrior, Gogeta, whose strength became so immense that even the gods of infinity summoned him. His first mission was to protect the legendary Grand Universe, where he met a mysterious warrior, Vegito. Together they faced the most dangerous version of the Grand Priest ever seen. In the heat of battle, they fused into Gogeta, the most powerful being in all existence. But when the fusion came undone, something unexpected occurred. The two Gokus became one forever, creating Omni Goku, and the same fate struck Vegeta, giving rise to Omni Vegeta. In the previous episode, Whis, the fusion of Beerus and Whis, apparently landed a decisive blow on Omni Goku. But was it enough to defeat Omnishin? And what about the battle between Gogeta and Majin Buu Zella, which is taking place in the gender swap dimension? Does Gogeta really have a trump card that can defeat the villainous? Find out now.
Hakai.
Dragon Ball Shinken, Episode 58. The Divine All Zenshin reveals himself. After tricking Goku Prime by altering time itself to land a decisive blow on him, Whis boasts about his intelligence and power, saying that no matter how strong Goku is, he, the Angel of Destruction, will not be defeated. But Goku Prime surprises him with a smile and sarcastically asks if he's sure about what he's saying. At that moment, Goku Prime vanishes from in front of Whis. He was nothing more than a residual image. The real Goku Prime is actually behind Whis, with his hand pointed at him, signaling that if he wanted to, Whis would be completely obliterated in the blink of an eye. The Angel of Destruction is absolutely shocked and asks how this is possible, since he manipulated time itself to land that attack on Goku. Goku replies that, just like Whis used time to his advantage, he did the same. He used the time jump technique, where he advanced in time before being hit by Whis, and what the destructive angel struck was nothing more than a residual image of him left in the past. Whis can't believe what's happening, and asks how it's possible that Goku predicted he would manipulate time itself. Goku Prime says that no matter what Whis does, he will always be one step ahead. He tells him that Whis is indeed very powerful, but he's still a level above him. Goku then asks if Whis has already understood this, or if he still wants to keep trying to win this fight. At that moment, Whis feels deeply humiliated, because he, who had never lost a battle before, now faces an enemy that seems unreachable to him. But despite that, he ends up agreeing with Goku, admitting that he really can't win, so there's no point in continuing to fight. Whis lowers his ki as he admits defeat. The fight is over. Seeing that Whis is sincere in his surrender, Goku Prime also lowers his ki and returns to his base form, becoming Omni Goku again. Goku says that he has fulfilled his part of the deal and gave Whis the fight of his dreams. Now, it's Whis' turn to keep his word and take him to the one above him. But before that, Goku tells Whis he wants to do something. This leaves Whis somewhat intrigued, wondering what could be so important that someone would delay meeting the one who is above even him, the Angel of Destruction. When Gogeta speaks with full conviction that she's going to win this fight now, Majin Buu Zella becomes very intrigued. She starts accusing Gogeta of bluffing, saying that if she could really win the fight at any time, she would have done it already. Gogeta says that if she were a rational woman, she really would have done that, but she's a Saiyan warrior who suffers from the weaknesses of her own race, and the great weakness of Saiyans is their warrior pride. Buu Zella asks what she means by that. Gogeta says that, as a Saiyan, she has the desire to win fights using her own strength. She wants to win by proving she's the most powerful, not by using other kinds of tricks. That's the reason she hasn't defeated Buu Zella until now, even though she could. Majin Buu Zella gets irritated by this and says it's all nonsense, that Gogeta hasn't beaten her simply because she can't. But Gogeta proves her wrong by charging at Buu Zella to land a punch. Buu Zella blocks the punch, since it was a very obvious and straightforward move. But even while blocking Gogeta's punch, Buu Zella suddenly starts to feel extremely unwell, and she loses all her power in an instant, when Cella and Frizelli are simply expelled from Majin Buu's body, undoing the powerful Majin Buu Zella fusion. When this happens, the three villains are absolutely shocked. Majin Buu asks how Gogeta did that, and she says she did it using a technique called forced spirit fission, which Vegeta learned some time ago and has now been perfected more than ever. Gogeta could have used this ability since the beginning of the fight, but she didn't because she wanted to defeat Majin Buu another way. But it's better to beat Buu like this than to let Earth be put at greater risk with the continuation of this battle and the possible defeat of Gogeta herself. Seeing that the fight is already over, since Frieza, Cell, and Majin Buu don't stand the slightest chance against Gogeta once separated, Omni Vegeta intervenes in the situation using his powers to restrain the trio of villains, saying that he wants to find out a few things, and to do that, he's going to tear the information out of them. After defeating Whis, Omni Goku returns with him to Earth, where they meet with Gogeta, Vegito, and all the other Potara and Metamoran warriors. Their tension about the ongoing battle had been so great that, for a moment, they even forgot they were enemies. Omni Goku takes this opportunity to ask them why they are enemies and keep fighting all the time. And, to Goku's great surprise, none of them knows why. It turns out that, in this reality, there are two Earths, Earth 1 and Earth 2. On Earth 1, where they are now, live the Metamoru fusions. And on Earth 2, live the Potara fusions. But it seems that, in the past, there was only one Earth where both peoples lived. Something happened, however, and the two peoples went to war. Back then, a wish-granting dragon was summoned, and Earth was duplicated, thus creating two Earths, one for each people. But even separated on different planets, the Potara and Metamoran kept on warring, and this war has lasted until today. The thing is, no one knows how this fight began, and yet they keep on fighting. But Goku says he already has an idea of what's going on. He then spreads his arms and raises his hands, and suddenly, from everyone there, even from Whis, a very small amount of strange energy comes out, an evil energy. No one understands what is happening or what that energy is. Omni Goku explains that deep inside each of their souls, an almost imperceptible amount of evil energy, chaos energy, had been placed. The amount is so subtle that not even he, with an extremely sharp level of perception, was able to notice it right away. He only managed to sense it because when things began to heat up and everyone's anger and resentment were flaring, there was a slight increase in these energy sources. Omni Goku deduces that someone sabotaged the people of Earth, but it seems it wasn't just them. Even the deities were victims of this sabotage. Goku says that, without a doubt, this was the work of some agent of chaos, aiming to create conflict in this reality and somehow benefit from it. Goku proves his point. With a snap of his fingers, he destroys those tiny sources of evil energy that were inside the people, and then everyone feels a sudden change in their emotions. Vegito, looking at Gogeta, says he simply no longer feels all the anger he felt toward him just moments ago, and vice versa. It's as if a veil made of pure hatred had just fallen from their eyes. And in fact, this happens to everyone there. Even Whis feels different. He feels more pure. Suddenly, the Metamoru and Potara fusions start to get along. Chima admits to Buchi that she always found her gadgets very interesting and wanted to learn more. Likewise, Buchi admits that she always thought Chima was a better fighter than her and says she'd like to learn some extra techniques. Master Kuririn tells Master Kurei that he has some magazines with beautiful women that Kurei might like to see. Master Kurei gets very embarrassed, but at the same time he wants to see them, and he accepts. And so, everyone else starts talking and discovering they have a lot in common. Vegito says he wants to find the one responsible for spreading this discord among their peoples, and asks Goku how they can do that. Gogeta agrees with him, also willing to help. Omni Goku says he still doesn't know exactly how to find this culprit, but he thinks he might discover something relevant if he meets the highest divine hierarchy of the multiverse, and that's why he wants Whis' help. Whis says that he will certainly be punished for taking Goku to the Almighty, but a deal is a deal, and he keeps his word. In the gender-swapped reality, Vegeta and Goku have already separated, while Omni Vegeta extracts the information he wants from Majin Buu, Cell, and Frieza. Not that they want to give him the information, Omni Vegeta simply steals it from them, reading their minds and accessing their memories even against their will. Accessing the memories of the three, Omni Vegeta believes he has reached the culprit for their return and empowerment. In fact, he's very surprised by what he discovers, and tells Vegeta and Goku that they won't believe it. Omni Vegeta raises one of his hands and says that he will now bring forth the one truly responsible for all this, which makes the women there very tense. Vegeta then snaps his finger, and the culprit appears. When Goku and Vegeta see who it is, they simply can't believe it. In the reality of the fusions, Whis fulfills his part of the deal and takes Omni Goku to where his superior is, the supreme god of the multiverse. When Goku arrives, he comes face to face with a very peculiar being, the union of the Grand Zeno and the Grand Priest, the Shinken. This being is called Zenshin, the Divine All. Before the Almighty Zenshin, even Whis kneels. He asks forgiveness for the offense of coming without being invited and even bringing a stranger. However, he justifies it by saying that this person is not someone ordinary and that Zenshin might like to meet him. However, Zenshin was already aware of all this. He tells Whis that he already knows of Omni Goku's presence because the fight they had did not go unnoticed, especially considering the mysterious and colossal power that Omni Goku displayed in that battle. However, Shinken is not exactly pleased with Omni Goku's presence and says that he is the supreme being of the entire multiverse and that Goku's presence there is a threat to his sovereignty. Goku quickly realizes that Shinken intends to resort to violence, and he says that's good, because he already had the intention of defeating Shinken anyway. Whis is shocked when he hears this, since he never imagined that Omni Goku would challenge Shinken in such a way, or that Shinken himself would want to eliminate Goku. Whis realizes that, most likely, he will be considered a traitor and erased from existence by the Almighty. And so, Shinken, the fusion of Zeno and the Grand Priest, prepares to face Omni Goku. And this is where another part of Dragon Ball Shinken comes to an end, folks! What could Shinken's power level be compared to Omni Goku? Will he really be able to offer a true challenge to Omnishin? And what about the culprit found by Omni Vegeta in the gender-swapped reality? Who could it be? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Also, make sure to drop a like on the video if you haven't done it yet, because it really helps this video's reach here on the platform and helps more people discover Dragon Ball Shinken. And another thing that helps more people get to know Dragon Ball Shinken is your sharing. So, if you know someone you think might enjoy this story, share this video with them, alright? And of course, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet, so you won't miss the next videos of this story. Dragon Ball Shinken will only continue here on the channel if the videos of this story have a good number of views, so your like, comment, share, and subscription are really important. And if you want to take it a step further and become a true hero of our channel, a true god of destruction, you can support us on Patreon. Starting from a very small amount, you'll already be helping us and also getting some exclusive perks from the channel, such as early access to Dragon Ball Shinken videos. The link to our Patreon is in the video description and in the pinned comment. Click the link with no obligation to see if you're interested, alright? Well, that's it. A hug to you all, and see you in the next video.